You're listening to Unmuted with Papamutes.
I want to welcome to the podcast today Charles Rossino, affectionately known as Chipper. Chipper, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Papamutes. It's a pleasure to be on. I've grown to be a fan through the first few episodes, so it's a great privilege and honor to get the call up now.
Thank you very much. Now, before we get started, we have opening ceremonies. You do have a beer with you?
I do.
What do you have?
This is a Houston beer, St. Arnold's. It's called a Juicy IPA.
What's the percentage as far as alcohol? Is it the same?
7.9.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
Is that too much?
No. I'm actually working a Wissahickon Brew Company, of course. Timber Imperial Stout, 8.3%. I trumped you there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're packing the ABV on me.
Yes, it's. In fact, let's take a sip to start off. Hold on.
Okay.
That's pretty good. How's yours?
Not bad. Not good.
Cool.
This is my weekend right now, so.
Yeah. All right. So you grew up outside of Philly, Havertown, PA. You went to Drexel University, graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering, which brought you to Texas, Houston, Texas, to be exact. And you're in between that job and law school in the fall. How'd you get the caddy position?
Yes, that is correct. So I had I worked for ExxonMobil down here. So big oil, that was what got me down here after school. Mm-hmm. And then obviously with certain, I had the plan to go to law school. It's something I wanted to do. But in the meantime, I was laid off from ExxonMobil based on the coronavirus and things like that. So I had to bridge 6 months. I couldn't just be sitting around doing nothing.
Of course.
And I didn't think I wanted to go through another engineering job that I knew I'd be leaving. So actually, my girlfriend's dad, he's a big golfer. My girlfriend Emily, I could give her name out here so she doesn't get mad at me.
Oh, sure. No problem.
Her dad is a huge golfer up in the Philly area, and he was giving me ideas, and he said, why don't you give caddying a shot? So it's the most fun job that he ever had. And I like golf. I can't say I'm an exceptional golfer, but I do like the game, and I'm a fan of the game. Mm-hmm. So I gave it a shot. I live, my former apartment was 4 blocks away from a really ritzy, highly exclusive golf course here in Houston. It's called River Oaks Country Club. Mm-hmm. So I called them up. I was like, well, this is kind of a shot in the dark. I don't know how they do the things here, but a golf course like that ought to have caddies. So I called them up, and I didn't hear back for a couple months, and eventually I got an email that I got an interview, interviewed for the job, and that's where I ended up.
Wow!
So they're actually.
Go ahead. So it's actually an interview.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what kind of questions? So what kind of questions were they? Like, can you carry a bag?
Yes. Yeah. It was funny because I actually got a few of them wrong. They gave you questions and I got them wrong. But they work, so they contract out their caddying services through this company called Caddy Master. So I technically work for Caddy Master, which is based in Florida.
Nice.
That's right. And they actually staff the caddies at Augusta National and Pebble Beach and a lot of the other more famous golf courses across the country.
Sweet.
But some of the questions were, and I got this one wrong. How many golf clubs are allowed? What's the maximum number of golf clubs allowed in a PGA Tour golf bag?
I think I know that. Can I take a shot?
Do you? Take a shot.
I'm going to say 11.
Incorrect. I think I said 11 too. It's 14.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's PGA.
Yeah. Well, USGA, I should say. I think USGA. But anyway, so that's questions like that. And then there was easier questions. What goes further, a pitching wedge or a 5-iron? Mm-hmm. So that's an easier one. But things like that. What are the 3 hazards? Red, white, and and well, now I'm forgetting.
It's okay.
Blue hazard, orange hazard. I forget. There's one that's a little bit different. But anyway, questions like that. So I had to get those right to show that I had a basic golf knowledge.
Now, does it matter that you're a big dude? I'm sure that helps.
Right. So that did matter. So after the interview, I went in for a second interview to look presentable. You have to be clean shaven and everything, and can't have tattoos showing or anything like that for the golf course rules. So you got to make sure that you're an upstanding character, and then you go through a week-long training course. So one of the guys I trained with was kind of an older gentleman and overweight, and he didn't make it. So it wasn't like you have to be physically fit to be able to do it.
So the physical part is what though? You're trudging around the course, or how do they judge the physical part? You could look out of shape and be in shape, if you know what I mean.
Right. So we actually went out there, and the other caddies golfed the course. This was like after hours while we caddied for them. And there's a lot of hills and undulations on a golf course, as you would expect.
Right.
It's hot here in Houston already, although this was back in February, but it was still hot. And you're running to get, so there's two types of caddy. You either bag carry or you're four caddy. So bag carry is when you have the bag on your back, not as hard. When you're four caddying, you're caddying for four different golfers, and you're chasing every single ball that they hit. You go and you give them their distance. You fill their divots when they hit their shots and everything. They have their carts where they have the bags in. You got to beat them to their balls, give them the distance, tell them the shot, all that good stuff.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, after 18 holes, you can clock between 6 and 7 miles on like the Fitbit.
Jesus.
Of walking/running. Yeah.
So that was the test, or part of the testing, I guess.
It's kind of a training/testing thing. They didn't tell you we were being tested, I guess.
I see.
But a couple guys didn't make it. One guy wasn't confident enough, and the other guy wasn't physically fit enough. I didn't know how I was doing, but
you passed the grade.
I didn't know I was being tested, but I think I graded well. I actually ended the training early.
Nice.
Like the other guys had to keep going who eventually made it.
Okay.
I got cut off a day earlier.
That's good.
So I was an exemplary student.
There you go. Of course. Now, what's the day? How's the day start off? You show up and what? You already know who you're caddying, or how's that work?
Right. So there's a list, and you have a report time, and any time after that, you could be called up, and then the next guys will come and report. So if you don't get someone before your report time, you can either stick around and try to get work, or you can leave.
So you report at like 7 a.m. whenever, and the golfers come by and say, "I'll take that big dude over there. Come on, carry my bag, son."
not necessarily like that.
Okay.
That's kind of like the Caddyshack model.
Right. Well, hey.
I don't know if it was like that back in the day. No, the chambers underneath the golf course where like there's no windows or anything. It's a Caddyshack, but
okay.
I mean, upstairs it's elegant and beautiful. We're confined to down there. They radio down when they need a caddy, and the next guy up goes out and caddies. Now they can also request caddies. So you can also, if you get a request, then you know exactly what time they're teeing off, and you show up there, and that's your person.
Yeah, I mean, I did some research. It's safe to say there's some major paper at this place.
Oh yeah, there's some big time money.
Yeah, okay, it's a nice place, no doubt about it. Now, how do you get paid? I mean, I don't need to know the amount, but is it daily rate, like a round? You get this much, or is there tips? How does that work?
Yeah, so you do your round, and then you have them fill out a caddy card, and then there's a base pay. There's a base pay that they fill out based on whether you're four caddying or bag carrying and how many players that you caddied for. So that's the base pay, and then Caddy Master, the company, dips their hands into that amount of pay. But then there's also a gratuity that they put at the bottom, basically like at a restaurant where you'd put the added gratuity after your check.
Right.
And I get that money fully in cash.
Nice.